Chapter 269, Qiu Lin, one of the 10 prodigies of the Omen Ridge. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Although the practicing exercises of the brightness half-saint can't compare to the scripture of Emperor Ming's Empyrean, his understanding about martial arts is deeper than mine. It's good for me to consider the half-saint's sacred glyph he left. During his meditation on the painting of the sun and the moon, the genuine qi in his body continually blended into his bones, and the splendor of the stars began to cast its glow on his bones. His mortal body grew more robust. The martial arts of the brightness half-saint, who had paid more attention to practicing his mortal body's physical quality, especially his shin bones, was different from that of Zhang Yuochen. Once a warrior chose a particular exercise, his decision was locked in. Even if two warriors practiced with the same method, their martial arts would be totally different. One tended to achieve more than the other. To some extent, to perceive the half-saint's sacred glyph and learn half-saint's martial arts was to change one's own martial arts and break the limitation of exercise. Some talented warriors could even create their own martial arts style with unique exercises after they had studied the arts of many half-saints or saints. Weren't scripture of Emperor Ming's Empyrean and Peacock Canon both written by predecessors? Zhang Yuochen put high requirements on himself, so he tried to learn more martial arts from the basis of Emperor Ming's Empyrean to create stronger martial arts. With my current martial cultivation, I am able to contend with some weak warriors of the heaven realm, but my martial techniques are limited. It is time to practice the fifth palm of the dragon and elephant prajna palm, 9 elephants power, to succeed in increasing the ferocity of my palm technique. Zhang Yuochen had practiced to the 6th fold of the 9 folds of the elephant power, and now he could deliver an attack 6 times more powerful. The higher he practiced, the harder it became. It was difficult to make further progress only practicing in the internal space of the time and space spinal. So he had to go the Mount Saint crossing to practice 9 folds of the elephant power with the help of the gravity practicing secret room's special environment. In the gravity practicing secret room, he could develop his palm techniques in a 10-fold, or even 100-fold, gravity environment, thus strengthening his body. The 4 martial arts realms, yellow, black, earth, and heaven, laid emphasis on mortal body cultivation. The mortal body was the basis of all martial arts. On his way to the Mount Saint crossing, Zhang Yuochen meant to go the Merit Tower first to exchange some of his merit. When he arrived at the Merit Tower, many people recognized him. Is he the famous Zhang Yuochen? It is said that the young Lord of Poisonous Spider, one of the 7 young masters of the black market, died at his hands. Not only the young Lord of Poisonous Spider, but he also killed 2 Heaven Realm masters in the black market. What? He could kill masters of the Heaven Realm? Wouldn't you say that he already has the power to enter the Earthboard and maybe rank in the top 5th in the Internal Academy? He is so young, not yet 20 years old. Maybe even our elder brother won't be his rival in the future because of his terrible strength. How many merits did he gain after killing the young Lord of Poisonous Spider and 2 Black Market Heaven Realm Masters? Maybe 30,000 merits. Only top geniuses could enter the Internal Academy, and so none of them were unskilled. Even so, they were all excited to see Zhang Yuochen and admire him. He was a young king who could kill a martial arts legend. A conqueror like Zhang Yuochen would be an influential figure of the youth in a half-saint or saint family, let alone in the Omen Ridge. Just then, a man in a silver robe walked out of the Merit Tower. He was 2 meters tall with a cool temperament, acting every inch the superior. 4 or 5 internal students walked behind him like his attendants. Only 3 internal students had the right to wear a silver robe, and each was an Earthboard master. Together they were called the 3 dominators of the Internal Academy. All other internal students should look up to him. This man was named Qiu Lin, ranked 2nd in the Internal Academy and the 27,861st on Earthboard. As one of the 10 prodigies of the Omen Ridge, he boasted great fame in the 36 commanderies of Omen Ridge. 2 years ago, in the war between Qiu Lin and the Leech King, a 4th-level savage beast, Qiu Lin killed his enemy, and fought with aquatic savage beasts for the next 3 days without a break. He killed thousands of them, which dyed the river Ed for hundreds of miles. That war made him very well known. Staring at Zhang Yuochen from afar, Qiu Lin assumed a disdainful expression, and he asked an internal student next to him, "Is that the prince from an inferior commandery who has flattered Commandery Princess Yanjin and junior sister apprentice Chen Xia?" "Yes, elder brother, he is Zhang Yuochen," said Xungihai, who stood behind Qiu Lin with a stony face. Xungihai was a tip-top influential figure beyond the academy, however in the internal academy he did not rank in the top 100. So, in front of Qiu Lin, he was respectful. Now Xungihai had not fully developed his skill, but even when he grew up, he still would not be able to attain as high a degree as Qiu Lin. Except Xingkong, no one in the internal academy dared disrespect Qiu Lin because of his great strength. When seeing Qiu Lin walking to Zhang Yuochen, Xungihai gloated. "Wow, it's elder brother Qiu Lin. Fancy seeing him at the Merit Tower," said a pretty female student. "Really? That's him." They said some time ago he accepted the task of handling a heresy branch gang in Moon Commandery. Maybe now he has finished it and come back to exchange some merits. Qiu Lin had been used to screams from these internal students and he smiled slightly. In the internal academy, it was he who was the real king, and Zhang Yuochen was far beneath him. Walking in front of Zhang Yuochen, Qiu Lin showed great hostility to him and said superciliously, "They said you killed the young lord of poisonous spider. Did you?" Zhang Yuochen stared at Qiu Lin and replied, "Could you please tell me who are you?" "I am Qiu Lin," he said arrogantly. Zhang Yuochen said, "It's elder brother Qiu. I've heard a lot about you." With that, Zhang Yuochen bypassed him, walking straight to the Merit Tower. Of course, Zhang Yuochen had heard Qiu Lin's name before, because he ranked 6th among the 10 prodigies of the Omen Ridge. However, he had planned to exchange his merits and go straight to Mount St. Crossing. He had no time to talk with Qiu Lin, so he just left. But Qiu Lin did not let Zhang Yuochen go so easily. He sneered and called, "Junior fellow apprentice Zhang, I'm the second brother of the school of the martial market. I don't think you respect me." Zhang Yuochen stopped walking and asked, "Elder brother Qiu, you are so serious. How have I disrespected you?" "Oh, really? Did you salute me when you met me?" said Qiu Lin. Now Zhang Yuochen saw clearly that Qiu Lin was looking for trouble deliberately, but Zhang Yuochen did not see where he had offended him. Though he preferred not to stir up trouble, he was never afraid when it came to him. Xungihai, who stood behind Qiu Lin, sneered. "Zhang Yuochen, don't be so proud. Even if you have killed the young lord of poisonous spider, don't dream you are matchless." Another female student who admired Qiu Lin asked, "Why are you so confident and arrogant in front of elder brother Qiu?" Zhang Yuochen cast a sharp eye on all of them. Xungihai said to Zhang Yuochen without fear, "Why do you stare at us? Am I wrong? I can understand your youthful indiscretion. After all, you are Commandery Princess Yanjin's fiancé with Cayenne's Yui Commandery's backing. But I can't stand your discourtesy to elder brother Qiu." His fury replaced by amusement, Zhang Yuochen said, "Xungihai, what should I do to show my politeness?" Xungihai smiled insidiously. He felt that today he could teach Zhang Yuochen a lesson, since Qiu Lin had found trouble with Zhang Yuochen. 10 years ago, elder brother Qiu entered the internal academy. Not only is he our elder brother, but he is also our predecessor. You just entered the internal academy as a freshman. Don't you think you should bow to elder brother Qiu? The law of the jungle also applied in this world. Everybody played up to people of power and influence. The weak would be trodden on. The internal students maintained their own hierarchy. Strong as Qiu Lin was the king, at the top of the internal students. All the other students should pay him a tribute of some of their practice resources for protection. The cruel law of the jungle made Qiu Lin used to superiority. He expected all students to stand in awe of him. When a student showed no reverence for him, he became unhappy. Just like Zhang Yuochen. Shooting a glance at Qiu Lin, Zhang Yuochen said, "We are all internal students and came to the school of the martial market for practicing martial arts. What are these redundant rules for?" Several of the internal students standing behind Qiu Lin burst into laughter, feeling that Zhang Yuochen was being a reckless fool. The world would descend into chaos without laws and rules. You, the weak, should stand in awe and service to the power. Suddenly Xungihai hauled an internal student of the initial stage of the Earth realm from the throng, clasped his meridians, and dragged him in front of Qiu Lin. "Do you think you should salute elder brother Qiu Lin?" asked Zhongyi darkly. The student had entered the internal academy 6 months ago, so he knew the rules well. A mediocre student like him must pay respect to Qiu Lin, because it was easy for Qiu Lin to kill him.